Hello, welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Ava, and today we're giving our first thoughts on Iron Lung.
Well, that was a movie.
The debut by new filmmaker, I almost said Jacksepticeye, he's in there, Markiplier. I should have started this like a fucking PewDiePie video. Hey, how's it going, bros? I don't watch Markiplier. Never have. I was a PewDiePie guy, later a little bit of a Jacksepticeye guy, and now I don't really watch gaming at all. Anyway, so this is an adaptation of a video game called the same thing, Iron Lung, and that video game came out in 2022. This is Markiplier's self-financed, self-produced version where he wrote, directed, all of that. So it's like supposedly like this great bastion of independent filmmaking, which is awesome.
Listen, it'd be cool to have the money to turn whatever video game I enjoyed into
Oh
a
my god, it would be great.
low budget movie or medium budget movie. I don't know how much budget with a movie.
Very low budget as far as filmmaking actually goes. Let's check, shall we? 3 million. I wish I had 3 million to throw at a project.
Same.
Then again, also good risk reward on his part. Because, I mean, it's made 20 million so far. He solely financed this. Now, granted, you split half and half with theaters typically, but that's still $10 million back in his pocket for this movie. Good on you, Mark.
Hey-o.
Anyway, so if you're not familiar with the video game nor the movie, it follows a convict who is told that to reduce significantly his sentence, maybe even get rid of it entirely, he will go down in the submarine to explore the bottom of this blood ocean. Now you may be asking, the fuck? The backstory is, in the future, there are various space stations and outposts on alien moons and such. This was a particular case where they were on a moon that everything went wrong, and they believe everybody in the entire universe is gone, except for them. That's what they think. That was a little blurb at the beginning. It was kind of wordy, and I missed some stuff, but that's the basic idea.
Yep.
And they call it the Quiet Rapture because people are just now slowly dying. That's a cool name. Anyway, speaking of cool things, I think there's a lot of cool ideas in this movie, and I think there's even a couple of cool moments in this movie. And most of that, I feel like I'm probably gonna credit to the video game because everything else was pretty bad. Justin, when you were awake, how did you feel about this movie?
Listen.
You and your murder gloves.
You gotta always have your murder gloves. It's a horror movie night. I brought my murder gloves, okay?
You know,
I'm not gonna get the
I
chance
think
to use
O.J.
my
Simpson
murder
would disagree. I think sometimes you need to get rid of your murder gloves.
Well, listen. I've been practicing my hand technique. You know, you gotta
They
know
don't
how
fit.
to.
Look, they don't fit.
You gotta know how to expand them. You know, just look at that. Look at that.
Oh, tiny glove. Who could possibly get out of? Get that out.
But yeah, when I was up, yeah, I admit it was an interesting concept for me, not having any clue what was going on.
Yeah, you didn't know it was a video game. So.
Yeah, no, I probably should have guessed that. Actually, I did hear that. It didn't occur to me until afterwards. You know, as a concept, it seems interesting, and all of the interesting parts, yeah, seem to come from the game. Kind of boring. Had some interesting scenes, but
It had some very good moments.
yeah.
I feel like I have to save that for spoilers because certainly some of it seems to have deviated from the game.
Yeah.
It's tough because, like, so this is our second movie directed by and written by a YouTuber we've seen in as many years.
Yeah.
We saw Chris Stuckman's debut last year, and it was kind of like we said, like, oh, there's some good moments. The writing is not Stuckman's strong suit, but the directing had its moments. And if I had seen this at, like, a film festival, I'd be like, huh, interesting. Not good, but I'm curious what that guy might do next. I had a very similar reaction with this, where I went, huh, that wasn't good, but it had some very interesting moments.
Yeah.
And if this was like, if I knew this guy, if after the showing I walked up to this filmmaker and was like, hey, how you doing? you had some interesting ideas there. I'm curious to see like what your thought process is and how did you get the money for this, man? Kind of thing, because it's like this didn't feel nearly as much like a movie, by the way, as Stuckman's. Stuckman's was a bad movie. This felt like a decent YouTube video attempt, like a fan film of
see
something,
that, yeah.
you know? But like a moderately high budget fan film.
Yeah, it definitely, like, I never really watched most of it, but you know how YouTube was trying to pump out their own TV shows and, like, personal movies for a while?
Yeah.
Kind of felt like these could have been one of those things if
Yeah.
it had, come out back then.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, with a rookie director who's also starring in the movie and is essentially the only person you see on camera most of the time.
Which I did not know about.
I thought he wasn't in this for some reason. I didn't realize he was the main character.
I didn't realize he was in it either, and I know I saw him in all the promotional materials, so I don't know what I assumed.
I somehow missed that part. But yeah, it's hard to tell his quality as a director when it's like he's directing himself and he's not an actor. So I'd be really curious to see what he could do with some real actors, because it's like maybe some of these moments would have worked better if we had some real actors to work with. Or maybe it'd be worse and you'd be like, oh, he only knows how to direct himself because that's all he's ever done before. I don't know. I can't tell.
Listen, it's all about the game, okay? That's going to be his career. He's going to just find his next game to adapt, and one day he'll go down as having the greatest video game adaptation of all time.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if that was his niche, because it seems like he's passionate about it. I would have rather him directed the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. Like, at least he would have been maybe passionate about it.
Yeah.
And done some interesting things. I don't know if they'd be scary at all, because this wasn't scary at all, but like it was interesting at least.
Yeah, now I wonder how people felt the game was scary-wise, because like it seems like the game would be a bit creepier, mostly just because I get to play it myself.
You're in it,
directly.
yeah. And it's intense because, like, there's a couple moments where it's like, oh, I have to do this with the wires. Oh, I have to find this thing. And it's like, that feels like gameplay.
Yeah.
I would much rather do that than watch somebody do it, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this movie, I don't think this story lent itself very well to a movie format, despite apparently what Markiplier said while playing it. This very much felt like a game. And then around an hour 10 in, randomly became a movie, and then stopped after about 20 minutes. It was like a movie. It was interesting for about 20 minutes, and then it gave up on that idea. And then later it doubled down and did some Bootstraps Bill shit, which really distracted me. But anyway.
Yeah, that was some interesting stuff there.
So how do we feel about this movie? I think I disagree with the Markiplier fans who are all saying, wow, what a great movie. And I think I disagree with the people who are saying, wow, this is the worst movie of the year. I literally saw a tweet saying that this was worse than the War of the Worlds movie. And I was expecting bad because of that. This wasn't. It was mediocre. It had some good moments, albeit maybe some moments that it took from the game, and that's why it was good.
Yeah.
But it adapted it in an interesting way. I would say this movie was more bad than good, but still it was something. So I'm gonna give it a 4, I think. Which, honestly, I was thinking 2 for most of it. And then it had a couple of interesting moments that I'll get to in spoilers.
See, I don't feel like I ever, like, truly hated this movie. Or truly was disappointed in this movie.
You didn't watch half of it.
Ignoring that.
I feel like I'm going to have to give you the plot synopsis when we get to spoilers.
Hey, I read the plot synopsis a couple times.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, I can definitely see the interesting moments from this probably just being from the game. I'm going to go 5. I'm never really going to think about this again.
Yeah.
But I think it's got a cool background to it, you know, how it got made and such.
Yeah, and I think, like, he took some swings, which is fun.
Yeah.
Like, you know, breaking the record for most blood. Does that amount to much of anything? Not really, but it's a cool thing that he tried stuff. You know, once again, going back to the whole Chris Stuckman thing, the reason that movie was so disappointing was I didn't feel like he tried anything new or original or interesting.
Yeah.
And this, at least he tried some stuff. You know, a lot of times people's first films are really derivative, and this didn't feel derivative to me. Maybe it is of stuff I'm not aware of. It felt completely different and unique in its own way. It just also didn't feel great.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. Hey, but if you're a big Markiplier fan, support and all. Even though he already made his money back.
Yeah, he made his money back. He's a millionaire. Do whatever you want. Who cares? But, I will say support independent filmmaking. That's where you find interesting stuff. So, a win is a win is a win. Anyway, we're going to get into spoilers now for a little bit. Maybe more than a little bit. So, if you don't want anything spoiled, you should click away, go watch it. We are a week late. Sorry. I was in Texas. So if you don't want anything spoiled, click away, go watch it, come back, and we can talk about it then. But don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. Also, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and more. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
So, the bad guy, the monster thing in this, I half-jokingly, referred to multiple times as Cthulhu, because it looked like fucking Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is it Cthulhu? So I Googled it, and other people were saying the same thing, but I wasn't getting any definitive answer. Is it actually Cthulhu? People were just saying Lovecraftian horror film, Iron Lung. But they weren't talking about the game, so I Googled monster from Iron Lung video game, and he's referred to as the frog, and he looks like one of those fish with, like, the light dangling.
See, that's why I saw the image for a split second, and it's all started to click. I'm like, oh, the mysterious lights in the ocean, anglerfish sort of thing. I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird, but all right then.
Yeah. So he completely changed what it looked like, it seemed.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Maybe he was trying to make it scarier because it looked silly in the game, from the pictures I saw.
I mean, it's a weird concept because, like, this ocean of blood that then seems to be covering some sort of civilization, but still very much inhabited like an ocean.
And specifically human blood. They
Yeah.
go out of their way to say that. And I'm like, how?
This is a big part that I don't really feel explained
The whole movie,
at
maybe?
at all. Really.
I feel like that's the only way you can explain it, is that it is a deity. And they refer to it as fucking aliens at one point, which was hilarious. Because, like, up until that point, I was unaware that aliens existed in this universe.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, fucking aliens. I'm like, oh, you're familiar. That's how this whole movie is written, by the way. Is just, reference to thing that we're supposed to know about. I'm like, oh?
You would know that if you watched Markiplier play the game.
I just didn't know anything, and they kept talking about stuff. So, I don't know. That was weird. And then also, like I said, they turn into Bootstrap's Bill at the end, where he starts, like, becoming part of the ship and whatever. Rips his whole fucking arm off. And I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, okay. So to back up, why I say the first hour is a different movie than the rest of it is the first hour is just a really fucking boring single room drama, supposedly horror, but only one jump scare thing happens where he sees somebody walking behind him and then he's not there. That's it. And then the rest of it is, oh, I'm a prisoner who was promised to get freedom if I do this thing for the man. Okay, never seen that before. And all it is him going like, oh, I'm going here, picture. Oh, I'm going here, picture. And they don't even explain, like, why exactly any of it's happening. I get that's the point, is he doesn't know.
Yeah.
But it's just hard for me to be invested and motivated when I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And it's just one of those things that, that's pretty okay for a game where you get to do the activities and build the storyline and
hotwire the computer.
Yeah, and even though it's a horror game, it doesn't have to start out very horror. It can build into that since you're engaged in having to do all this stuff anyway.
The video game is also 90 minutes. This is over 2 hours.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
The pacing is abysmal in this.
All right, then. Yeah, that's not great. But, yeah, it the tedious moments of games, I can't ever see them making great movies.
No. And it didn't work, especially the circular logic of stuff where I'm just like, I don't understand, like, okay, so maybe there's an explanation, But, like, he's complaining because they're telling him that he's the first to go down there. And he's like, I know you're lying because these people left me a note that said they were abandoned down here.
Yeah.
I'm like, they were abandoned down there? How the fuck did you get the note? What the fuck?
Yeah, that
You died down there and you're here being used? These, like, ships are like a one-time use. They weld them open and then cut them, or nope, reverse it. They weld them closed and then cut them open.
Yeah, no, that was confusing to me too, because, like, then it just means the first time the person either just died in a way that the sub was salvageable, or it wasn't so totally destroyed that they were able to drag it back up and put it back together.
Maybe
they just
they
weren't
just-
able to do it for the main character or for that other woman.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were able for the other woman, but they just weren't for the main character in the end.
Maybe they just left him to suffocate and then went down and retrieved it, but it's like, why would you do that? If you are, think about it logically. You're trying to save resources.
Yeah.
You let him return himself, bring him up,
Yeah.
cut him open again. Or shoot him, whatever you want to do, to kill him.
Right.
After he's come out, he wouldn't be leaving these cryptic notes for people either. And it's just like, why would you leave him down there to die and then go like, all right, let's get out the other 2 subs that we used to pick him up. You're wasting shit. Your precious resources you're talking about, you're wasting it to go on retrieval missions, especially if, guess what, maybe he falls down into a crevice and gets lost, and they go, oh, fuck it, we don't know where he is.
But listen, we had to have some mystery. The main
Stupid.
character had to realize that this wasn't the first time and that there was a greater conspiracy.
A greater good. Which, it's just hilarious. You know, they're like, how did you log onto this computer? Well, I took the red wire and the yellow wire and went...
Yeah.
And then it's like a hot wiring a
Yeah,
car.
it's classic hotwire logic.
But it's a computer, and it's the password. What? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Also, the whole camera system doesn't make any sense because supposedly the camera is facing the front of the ship.
Right.
By where the window is. Which, by the way, how do you have a window on a sub like that that's not breaking when you go under... Anyway.
It's all pressurized glass or whatever.
But instead of just, you're at the steering wheel and you press a button to take a picture, you have to walk to the back of the fucking sub, press this giant space bar, and then the picture will show up on the right wall. What? Who the fuck designed this sub? It's stupid.
It's designed to be dramatic for video games.
Yeah, and guess what? You've got 2 fucking light sources in this junk, and it's fucking the camera, and it's the fucking speaker. When somebody talks, it lights up.
Yeah.
Why who didn't put a fucking lamp in there? Why not?
You said it earlier. We had to conserve resources, we didn't need to conserve them to save and salvage the submarine and potentially repair it and put the new guy in, but for the lights, yeah.
And then I would just love to know the emergency engine restart. You have to fucking unscrew this panel to then climb underneath into this crawl space area, and you can't walk, you have to crawl down, and then it's like a fucking lawnmower or some shit because you gotta and then press a button and then the engine magically turns on? If the engine can turn back on, why do that shit? Just press a button to turn it back on.
You gotta rev it a couple times.
Why? We have space travel technology and we're pulling ripcords in the bottom of submarines? What the fuck are we doing?
We have limited resources left in this space travel.
Stop saying that!
So, we have lawnmower technology.
Jesus Christ. I just was so confused by everything that happened. Because even at one point, he's like, I took a picture of a skeleton. I'm like, you did? I didn't see it. I had no idea what I was looking at, that x-ray bullshit for half the movie. And supposedly he was seeing shit. Eventually it gets really obvious. I'm like, oh, Cthulhu. Yeah. Which the reveal of Cthulhu is hilarious because it shows it from across the room and he just drops his pen. And then there's a wide shot. So you don't get a good, it's no build up to the shot. Yeah. It's just wide shot over here. He's looking at the screen. He's like, ugh. I'm like, that's really how you revealed the monster in this movie? Really? Okay. And it's Cthulhu. All right. And I thought there was going to be so they make a point to go out of their way to be like, it's not a normal camera, it's an X-ray, you fucking idiot. And so I was like, oh shit. When he saw the skeleton down there, he was seeing a live creature. Cool. Can't wait for them to reveal that. No, it was a skeleton. Yeah. But also there's a live creature. I'm like, So why was it an X-ray? What did that have to do with anything other than going like, no. It's not a normal camera because it's blood. So you get an X-ray. That's how you see through blood. X-rays, right? You don't use fucking sonar like every sub in the history of subs. You use X-ray machines.
Well, you see, sonar, that requires a lot of resources.
I am going to murder you!
We just don't have a lot of those right now. No. But, yeah, as we also quickly read the video game synopsis since none of us had played the game before.
None of us.
Yes,
none of us.
And it's it seems like the game called the camera like a low
quality camera, yeah.
Yes.
Not an X-ray, but maybe it was. Sometimes Wikipedia lies about minor details like that.
But let's say it's not an X-ray camera. I guess this is a better explanation. I don't know. See, maybe I just accept
an explanation.
Maybe I'd sooner accept low res, but then
I would sooner accept it's the future. They just do shit.
It's the future. We have cameras on subs. They're just shitty.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars. We got holograms. They're kind of shitty, but we got holograms. Why were they so shitty in A New Hope? They worked great in Phantom Menace. I don't understand what happened to the technology.
Well, you see,
the rebellion is poorly funded. I get it. Yeah. All right. Okay. So there's another thing I thought was going to be a plot point. Because, like I mentioned, I think you were asleep for this. Early on in the movie, he sees somebody walk behind him. He freaks out, follows him into the corner, and nobody's there. But then that's when he notices the computer and hacks into it.
Yeah.
Then later, the lights go out, and I bring that up to say that you've got in your head the idea that something can come in and out of this sub at will. Kind of thinking, supernatural or some sort of teleporting alien creature thing. Where I've got Cthulhu, so like gods, aliens, all on the table here. But anyway, so at a certain point, the lights go out because he crashed. So, because even though there weren't any lights, it's now darker.
Of course.
Explain that to me. Mm-hmm. I'd love to know. But anyway, so he decides, I need to go down underneath this thing, and I need light. So instead of just constantly pressing the giant space bar to give me light from the camera, I'm going to tape it down. So it's constantly being pressed. So he does that. Then he goes under the thing, all this shit happens, ripcord, engine, bunch of bullshit happens, he comes back up, bum, 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 the tape that was over it is on the floor.
Right.
And he just doesn't acknowledge it. I'm like, but somebody took that off, right? Somebody took that off, right? And then, like, a scene later, you see him retape it, and then you see the tape, like, slowly pop off, because the button was what pressed off. It wasn't somebody who ripped it off, it popped off. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it falls to the ground, and you see that there's a pile where he's done this, like, 1,000,000 times. And then it cuts to Markiplier and goes like, bah! And I'm like, what? What? What was that reaction for? And why have you done this so many times? I'm so confused. Like, is this a reference to, like, playing the game and you're frustrated because you keep having to do something? I didn't get it. Yeah, why was he screaming?
Maybe it's just a dead-end loop in the game.
I don't know.
Constantly tape the camera. You just stuck for a while.
And then, so, going back to plot not making any sense, or maybe just things not being explained. So, like I said, he crashes. That simplifies it a little bit. He goes down to get the giant skull, seemingly of a different Cthulhu, and he goes to bring it back up to the surface. But then he gets grabbed by Cthulhu and gets thrown about. He also always goes the wrong direction when he's getting thrown. Because it's like, oh, they got bumped to the right. And he gets bumped to the left. So then he goes to the left. I'm like, no. Mm-mm. If you get bumped, you should be falling. Anyway, I don't know. Logic is not used, it seemed like. Anyway.
It's a blood ocean.
Yeah, gravity works a little different. Physics are... Who even knows how blood oceans work? Anyway, so he then wakes up, all that shit about the lights that I mentioned happens, and then he goes like, all right, I need to get out of here. So he starts going in circles. And it turns out it's because he went down this giant cavernous hole, but they don't say that. So the whole time I'm like, why aren't you just going up? Surface. Just surface. And so I waste half an hour of the movie being frustrated why he's not surfacing, and then it takes that long for him to go, oh, maybe I should go out this tunnel, then I can get to the surface. And like, you didn't tell, I was confused why you weren't going to the surface this entire fucking time. Why did it take you so long to say, I can't go to the surface?
See,
that should have been said immediately.
So you would have known that if you just played the game.
Sure.
Or watched him play the game. You would have known, we're stuck in a tunnel.
Yeah. And then at a certain point, he finally goes up that tunnel, and he starts surfacing, and then he hears a voice. So he stops and starts talking to the voice. And then he realizes, because he thinks it's somebody that's going to save him, and he's like, oh no, this is somebody else. You're trapped down here too? Ah, man. If only we could surface. I'm like, you were on your way! Yeah. You were surfacing! What the fuck happened? Well, why'd you stop?
The voice, let him know it wasn't possible. There was someone else, so that just means it must not be possible to surface.
Just really poorly written. I'm sure there were explanations. I'm sure there were reasons, but they were never fucking said. So I just got confused why we weren't doing the obvious thing at any point.
I wonder if the video game just didn't have explanations. It's just like, ooh, wow, it's so cool and open-ended.
So complex. I did read, by the way, that the ending is different in the game. In this, he's able to manage to get the black box to the surface, and you see somebody grab it. In the game, it says he failed his mission, and there's no hope for humanity, essentially. So, slightly optimistic turn by Mark.
Seems to be the theme of movies.
Yeah, we can't just have nice things, man. We can't have them a good, sad horror movie. But, yeah, so when did this movie get good for a while, actually? Well, that happened when he meets Cthulhu. He realizes that the voice, which this was clever, I'll give him that. The voice wasn't real. Or if it was real, it wasn't a person. It was something impersonating a person. And the whole time I'm going, the light's not flashing while it's talking. The light's not flashing while it's talking. And I was like, that's a really cool, subtle thing. But then, of course, they have to go through the cheesy thing. Oh, the wire isn't plugged in. Oh, my God. But other than that, it was really cool, really subtle.
Yeah.
And then he has this moment where I do have to say, this lady that he realizes isn't just a lady, it's Cthulhu or something impersonating the lady. They start doing that Galadriel, you will bow before me voice thing. And I'm like, ha ha ha, Lord of the Rings. Just watched that recently. And then he goes, I see you. And then there's a giant fucking eye.
See? It's got a lot of inspiration.
Oh, I lost it. But anyway, that was the one and only time that this movie visually got very interesting. Because I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
No, that giant eye threw me for a loop, too.
But then he was, floating in the top of the blood, like he had surfaced, and then there was this imagery, and then the weird shit was happening with the voice, and he's hallucinating, and I'm like, this is, okay, we made it, it's interesting. And then right away they said, ha 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 ha, not so quick. We're going back to boring. And then they went, oh, wait, no. Corpse. Turning around and looking at you. Interesting. Oh, and it's gone. And now we're boring again. And I was like, oh, there goes my hero. It was a good movie for so little. I wanted it to keep going that way because it was fun. It was really fun for about a solid 20 minutes. Right around the middle.
That's why it was a 90-minute game and not a 2-hour movie.
I wonder if any of that was in the game, though, you know?
That would be hilarious.
Because I also read that all of the things are written notes. There's no voices talking to them and stuff. It's written notes in the game.
Right.
Classic horror game stuff.
Okay.
So he changed some stuff. I wonder if he added all the weird Lord of the Rings stuff.
He just watched himself. He's like, oh, yeah. I got ideas.
Yeah. I've always wanted. Dude, I also feel like this had to be a reference that wasn't explicit, but they did it in such a referential way. At one point, he goes like, "You can't be serious." And she goes, "I am serious." And it was the exact same delivery style of, "Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, but don't call me Shirley." They just left out the Shirley part, but the delivery was exactly the same. I swear to God it was. And I was like, you just delivered it like there was a joke, but you left out the joke.
Soon as they turn around, don't call me Shirley.
Fucker. Oh, and speaking of that scene, oh my God, it was hilarious. So he surfaces at one point with the sub, and he's talking to this lady, and she wipes off the blood from the window so she can talk to him.
Yeah.
And then it just streams down. And then she wipes it again, and then it streams down, and she wipes again. I'm like, how much fucking blood is right over top this window?
It was a blood ocean, man.
It just didn't look natural at all. It looked like somebody was just like, meep, meep. So if it was Cthulhu, or some sort of deity, which it seemed to have to be, unless it's some sort of alien that's got, like, telekinesis, what was the plot even about?
It's just an advanced anglerfish.
No, it's Cthulhu. I mean, he doesn't look like an anglerfish in this. And then they started saying, like, don't drink that in the tape. The lady says, don't drink that. And they're like, we've been able to make food from the blood or resources from the blood or something. Or maybe they said take resources from the blood, but you shouldn't. Don't touch that.
Yeah, I think the goal was to try to find, like, resources in the blood.
Which seems stupid.
Hey, it's a blood ocean on this moon. That's got to have resources in it.
Yeah.
We don't have much left in the universe, so, we got to spend the rest of our humanity's resources examining this blood ocean.
It's our only hope.
Yeah. This ocean of blood.
I've never watched a movie and had more questions than I had before the movie. I'm baffled by this. But it made me want to play the game. It did, because I was like, there's some legitimately cool ideas in here. Now, I don't know how much of them are from the movie or from the game, but I thought there was some cool ideas. Why was there a zombie man walking around in his submarine? Fucked if I know, but it was cool. And then he was gone.
That's just the shit that happens in an ocean of blood.
Fuck, man. I hate when that happens. It had such an M. Night Shyamalan-esque plot twist, too, where they're like, we're sending you down there to get resources. No, you sent me down here to get this black box. Well, it's really important, okay? And it's like, why couldn't you just tell him what he was looking for? Yeah. Wouldn't that make life a lot easier? Why did there need to be a plot twist?
I guess maybe if you tell him he's going for a black box, that implies that something went wrong and maybe something could go wrong with him.
Yeah, but he's also told that if he lives, he's free. That's worth risking it. He's already risking his life down there.
Yeah, and he's in an ocean of blood. I would figure you'd...
Also, I would love an explanation for why Cthulhu magically gifted the sub with more oxygen.
Well, we needed the main character to make it.
Did he pull it from the blood? Was the blood all oxygenated?
Oxygenated?
Something.
Yeah.
And he just sucked it right out?
What you don't see are the giant lungs elsewhere that are just, pulling oxygen into the ocean of blood. And,
I thought this whole thing was going to turn out to be a hallucination, and maybe it was, because everything was mostly normal. I mean, sure, he crashed, he saw some skeletons. Okay, that's weird, but it can happen.
Yeah.
Everything was fairly normal until he drank that little thing of rubbing alcohol. Then shit hit the fan. I'm thinking he wasn't supposed to drink that. I don't know what happens when you drink rubbing alcohol. I heard it makes you go blind. I don't know. Don't do it, kids. Or adults or anybody. Not good for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It wasn't great.
Not quite.
It was kind of stupid. But honest to God, if Markiplier keeps making movies, it probably is not a bad idea. He could probably make some good stuff. So
listen, just keep finding video games you're passionate about. You'll have a hit adaptation eventually, maybe.
I honestly think he could do better with Five Nights than the current people. I do. Anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like if you liked it. Also share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Bye.
Bye.